One, two, three, four. Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. Oh, it's not the answer, for only love can comfort. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving. Oh, yeah, yeah. Picket lights, picket signs, punish me with brutality. Talk to me, honey, so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Hey, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. Woo! Come on here. Woo! Everybody thinks we're wrong, what they do. But who are they to judge us? Simply cause our hair is long. People, you know, we've got to find a way to bring some understanding here today. Picket lights, picket signs. People don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Wanna know what's going on? All right. Oh, baby. Ooh, what's going on? Wanna know, I wanna know, baby. What's going on? Na 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 na. Woo!
Thank you all for coming. We don't have a microphone or a speaker and it's really loud. I'm really impressed by how many people are here. Thank you so much. What we're going to do now is march together on the sidewalks down to the first intersection where the lights turn. At the red lights, we're going to walk into the intersection holding our signs. We'll have some chants. When the lights turn green again, we'll slowly go back to the sidewalk. We'll continue down to the other intersection, Malfunction Junction. We'll press the stoplight when the walking sign goes. We'll go into the middle of the intersection, holding our signs. When the stoplight is over, we will slowly go back to the sidewalk. After this march is over, there's going to be a discussion at Marlboro Graduate Center, which is on William Street, really close by to
Vernon.
Oh God, I did it again. Really close to Malfunction Junction, where we hope that you all join us to further our own understanding of what's been going on for the past 500 years and more. All right. All right.
1492.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, this racist system's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, this racist system's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, this racist system's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, this racist system's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, this racist system's got to go. Do you have a better chance than No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Listen to Brattleboro. Killing people's got to grow. Killing people's got to go. From Ferguson to Brattleboro. From Ferguson to Brattleboro. Killing people's got to go. Killing people's got to go. Hey, hey. To Brattleboro. Killing people's got to go. From Ferguson to Brattleboro. Killing people's got to go. Ho, ho. Killing people's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. From Ferguson to Brattleboro.
Way too low. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
Some people stand in unity against police impunity. People stand in unity. Some people stand in unity against police impunity. Some people stand in unity against police impunity. Some people stand in unity against police impunity. Hey, hey, ho, ho. This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. No justice. No peace. 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 This racist system got to go. Hey, hey. No peace. This racist system got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. This racist system's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Unity. Police impunity. People
police impunity. The people stand in unity against police impunity. The people stand in unity against police impunity. The
People stand in unity
against police impunity.
People stand in unity against police impunity.
No justice!
No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace! No justice! Yeah!
No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace!
Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho! This racist system's got to go!
What do we want?
Ho ho! This racist system's got to go!
What do we want? When do we want it?
No!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? When do we want it? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it? What do we want?
Justice!
Now! Justice! Now!
This racist system's got to go! This racist system's got to go!
Alright, so thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. So my name is Kelly, and I'm gonna pass these donuts along. Someone donated donuts to us. It was really nice. So a coalition of people organized
This is one of those moments.
this event, and we hope it's not the last one. And so I guess I'd just like to start the discussion with maybe people talking about why they're here and what are their thoughts on the recent events with Michael Brown and Eric Garner, and other, obviously, innumerable other accounts of police murder and brutality.
Can I make a couple of announcements first?
Yeah.
One is Wyatt was taking photos of the march, and he doesn't want to put photos up online without people's permission, so we just talked about it, and if you were in the march and you don't want your photo taken or put up on the internet, let me know or let Wyatt know if you know him, and make sure to respect that. And the other thing I just wanted to say before forgetting is, if you don't know, my name is Mel, by the way, and on Sunday, December 14th, at the Root Social Justice Center, which is at 28 Williams Street. Chris is holding up some flyers over there. I'm a Root Collective member, and our collective is collaborating on an event with Michaela and Mark Lovie Reyes called Resist, Ending Criminalization of the Poor and Communities of Color. It's going to be a panel, a discussion with folks that have been impacted in some way or worked against police violence. And that's at 2 o'clock on Sunday, December 14th, so that's another place to continue the conversation after tonight.
So the question we're starting with is, why are you here, and what are your thoughts about the events in the last several months?
My name's Tim Sanborn. I'm here because I'm concerned about the raising violence from the police and the police state that we seem to be going through. I've been personally have had encounters with the Brattleboro police. And a couple years back, I was severely beaten by one of the police officers unprovoked. He almost broke my nose after he assaulted me with a police car door, and then wrote it on his police report that I assaulted him. And what wound up happening is he got promoted to be a sergeant in the police force where he is now.
What's his name?
Sergeant Chad Every.
Chad? Like
Yeah.
Chad Emery.
Yep. And I wound up with a felony on my record. I've never taken recourse or any kind of action back because I was afraid of more continuing violence or even harassment. And, you know, from the last couple of years, from the Michael Brown case to just what happened with that Gardner case, it's clear that this is not going to be an ending problem.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
My name is Vince Gonzalez. One of the things that's really been on my mind in paying attention to the Eric Garner case and Michael Brown is that one thing that keeps popping up are these montages of victims of police violence. Several I've seen tend to go back to around 2009 and show this like grid of dozens of people who have been killed. And I think what's really remarkable is that I don't think we have any way of knowing if things are actually getting worse or if people are just beginning to pay attention now in a way they haven't. I don't think that police brutality, I don't think that racist policing, I don't think that classist policing is something new. But there have been these recent cases where people are refusing to let it pass quietly. And I think that the noise that people are starting to make and that we're all fortunate to be a part of is maybe the best chance we have at actually seeing a change in practices that we don't even know the history of which has been systematically hidden from us.
I agree with you on that. I think the only way I feel even safe remotely talking to a police officer when I'm approached is by videotaping the whole entire encounter.
I mean, something that I have been trying to figure out and wanting to talk about with my students in the classroom is how these aren't isolated incidences, and it's not that like the system's going wrong because of this police brutality and killings. It's exactly what the economic system needs in order to keep on growing and keep on making a profit. And so, you know, thinking about what is the purpose of policing. And to me, it's to protect like money and private property, and it's not about protecting people, and it never has been about protecting people. And someone stopped me on the street who's a police officer who wasn't in uniform, and he said, like, he felt like this was an attack on him. And I said, this isn't about any one person. It's like we have to look at the system in which this exists.
How did he respond when you said that?
He responded, he didn't know how to respond with that. And he said that, he just kept on saying that, I wish we weren't talking about black and white because that makes things racist. He said, let's just talk about people. And I said, you know, eventually, like, that's great. We should talk about people. But we have to call out things for what's happening. And while there's racism happening, and I said, you know, white people, he was white, and I said, people like you and me feel really uncomfortable talking about racism. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't talk about it. So.
Hi, my name is Shailene. I'm a junior in high school. And like a couple weeks back, we had a discussion about what happened in Ferguson, Missouri with 4 Brattleboro cops. And most of, like, whenever we asked them questions about what happened, they were always trying to, like, steer the conversation somewhere else, saying that they didn't have enough information to really talk about what happened. And this morning in English class, we were talking about all the recent, like, rapes that's been happening in colleges and universities. And there was this kid, his name's Colby, and he was saying how, like, stuff like that just gets him so angry, and he never understands, like, why people would do that. And, like, it was amazing. It was, like, the best English class I've ever had. We were all, like, putting in our own opinions, and, like, the teacher was, like, really into it, and it was a really good class. He says that he's a male feminist, that he hates the stereotypes that surround feminist women, stuff like that. And it's pretty much, it first started out how Alex, he was saying that people are more concerned of when colored people get arrested, but when a white person has, a couple of days back, a person was killed, and he was white, and he was shot by a white cop, and how no one has been talking about that. And he was kind of confused, wondering how, like, what's the difference between a black guy getting shot by a white cop and a white guy getting shot by a white cop. And he was saying, like, they're both human, they're both people. Why do we have to, like, make it such a big deal when those people died for no reason? And so we should, you know, pay attention equally to both white and black people.
What do you think about that?
I was a little stunned because I didn't even know about that. Like, I didn't even know that a couple days back that a white person died, and I didn't know that. And he was like, that's what I'm saying. There's no awareness for white people that get killed for no reason. And I was a little shocked. It's like this, he says that there's been 3 killings of white people since the Ferguson, Missouri thing.
Thank you for, you know, sharing that. I just also wanted to say, I don't mean to keep talking and taking up everyone's time, but I also wanted to say, even when they try to steer the conversation in another direction, no matter what, don't stop asking questions.
Like, how many black people were killed since Ferguson by cops? I mean, I don't know that number, but there have been several. Does anyone know?
I could go above 3, just right off, you know, just starting, and that's, I don't know all of them. But, so, I think what we've got to differentiate between here is individual acts of violence, which are horrific, and yes, all of those lives matter, but some of those acts of violence are part of a system of violence perpetrated upon some people for the benefit of others for hundreds of years now. And that's why the outrage about Ferguson, about the death of Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, and on, because those deaths represent the deaths of so many other people and happen in communities that are oppressed as part of this system, this systemic violence perpetrated for the profit of a few.
I wonder what people thought about the woman who, when we were marching up and down, said, "Not in Brattleboro, not in Brattleboro." She was really angry, and I just wonder what people think about that.
Not in Brattleboro, like this doesn't happen in Brattleboro, or don't march in Brattleboro?
This doesn't happen in Brattleboro. Racism doesn't happen in Brattleboro.
Was it the lady that was in front of the Thai place?
I don't
In front of the
remember.
river garden? Because there was a lady there that was saying like they should obey and then they won't get killed or something like that. Like referring to black people. What are you talking about? I'm so confused.
Racism happens everywhere.
And people get killed by the police everywhere, including in Brattleboro.
Yep.
All the time. So, like, that's also important to remember, is that, like, I think I often hear people say things like, Brattleboro is such a nice town, or like, what, that kind of, like, sentiment that I feel like this lady is. I didn't see that woman on the march, but yeah, I like that idea that, like, this is a nice place where nice things happen to nice white people is, like, not true and also fucked up.
I also wanted to add on, if it's okay, about her, sensitivity training, about, knowing all of us. I think the police also need to have sensitivity training about our homeless population that we have here. I personally work with a lot of the homeless and stuff, and I've seen how the police interact with them and stuff. And they don't treat them very fairly and stuff,
And I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but there have been 3 people who are mentally ill, who have mental illness, killed by the police in Brattleboro. I don't know how recently. I don't know if anybody else can say more about that.
When I moved here, it was justice for Woody, a man who had ended up at the Unitarian Church with a knife, and the police shot him, and I'm sure lots of you know more about that than I do, but the killing that happened down here, I think, and I mean, I forgot the third one. Those are just the ones that I've heard about since I've been around.
The Woody case in particular, he was actually threatening himself with the knife, and he was shot multiple times, which seemed like there was a lot of talk about unnecessary force, and that he was in a church, and he was clearly very agitated. He was threatening to take his own life, and he was shot multiple times by police officers. And there was, I think the officer was indicted for that and went to trial.
But not convicted, right?
I don't think he was convicted, no, but he was indicted and didn't go to trial.
And I know the shooting at the hotel that they sent it to, I think, Bennington to have their police force or investigators look at it. So other police judging what police do.
I'm curious what other people think, because one suggestion has been like that the police need to go through some, like the sensitive training, but like what do other people think need to happen?
There are also solutions that are questions about what we do as a community rather than what the cops need to do to themselves. One thing, harm reduction approach would be trying to form a local cop watch, trying to create an organization of where we are actively observing what the police are doing and documenting it in order to keep ourselves and our community safe. And so we don't ever have to sit wondering what were those names, who were those people who were hurt by the police, does anyone have any information? We'd have a communal resource for keeping up with that. And I think, and maybe a second and maybe longer term goal would be, I would hope, trying to imagine a community that doesn't need police, trying to develop communal structures where we can hold each other accountable and have communications about harms that have occurred and try to facilitate recovery collectively among ourselves without having a class of armed strangers who come in to negotiate for us.
There is a committee of citizens, and forgive me, I don't remember the name, but there is a
Citizens Police Communication Committee.
Right. So that's supposed to be doing that.
I'm not sure. I guess something called the Citizen Police Communication Committee could be like a cop watch, but it sounds more.
I was
sounds
on it.
kind of like the
also
opposite.
on it. Yeah. I sat on it for 2 years, and it's like bullshitty name only. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I was on it when Gene Wren was still the police chief. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the new police chief has made some statements. I don't know him that well, or like if things are whatever, the police are still the police. And Chris, maybe you want to share about your experience on the CPCC, but when I was on it, it was very much like people make compliments and they read the compliments in public and then it's in public record, and that's like about all the CPCC can do. They don't have anything written into their like town committee bylaws that says they can actually do anything. They can basically like create a public forum for people to air like complaints and compliments. So that's what we have right now in Brattleboro.
And when I was on it, we asked the police to do, enforce, or implement different kinds of trainings for their officers on racism, on a whole variety of things. And they said, we don't have the money for that, and we couldn't, they would have to do it on their own time. And they said themselves, that's just not gonna happen. And so the focus of the committee, partly when I was there, was to have us learn what their rules and regulations were and what the laws were, and that we would do ride-alongs with them and see what they were doing, that we could sign up for them. So the focus was for us to be educated on what they did and how they did it.
Just to actually speak up for a group of people that is not represented here, which is the Vermont Police Department, they actually do and have for the past several years sent representatives to the Vermont Visions for a Multicultural Future, which is a conference that's a 2.5-day conference that's held each year. We're talking about diversity and issues of race, gender, ability, that kind of thing in Vermont. And both years they've actually had a strong presence, at least 2 or 3 representatives out of like 60, and they've instituted policies based on what they've gotten from that conference. And they've even they just recently hired this year, I think some of their first officers of color, I think women officers of color, and part of that came from, and they're also instituting trainings now, anti-bias police training policies. So to their credit, there has been some actions taken directly about dealing with this kind of, whether or not these cops are listening and whether it's an actual thing or not. I can't really speak for that, but I can say that I did see the Vermont State Police engaging in this conference and actively taking part.
State Police or Brattleboro Police?
State Police. This was the State Police, yeah.
And both were there.
Both, I think, yeah.
The police chief. I was there. The police chief was there.
Yeah. Oh, was the Brattleboro Police Chief there? I don't know.
Yeah, he was there.
Okay. I don't know what he looks like, so I have no idea. I just know that. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there.
But I don't think this is just about the police.
Thanks.
It's that's really a narrow focus, and the reality is that there are people living in poverty, and that's one of our main problems is class, which is easily overlaps with race, and the fact that these are the communities that get policed. And so the way the system is set up, somebody's gonna do it. It doesn't matter whose feet are in those shoes. Sometimes it's people of color, sometimes it isn't. I mean, we have these conversations sometimes at school, like, well, what about black cops shooting white people? And what about black cops shooting black people? You know, you can have those conversations, but that really isn't the point. It's that we live in a system of injustice that created racism, and that's why it exists. And there are people in the system that represent the state as their job. And obviously those things are connected, and so there's no way to train yourself out of being racist. It doesn't disappear. And there's no way to train yourself out of being biased, because the reality is that there are still poor neighborhoods, and their poor neighborhoods are the places where crime happens. It's the places where it's unsavory. It's the places where it's scary. It's the places that need to be policed because people are not safe.
Sorry, I don't want to take up too much time, but can I tie that back into what you said about that lady who said not in Brattleboro? Like, I guarantee that lady doesn't live in like anywhere near communities of color in this area. And there are communities of color in Brattleboro, but the integration between especially the upper middle class of the Brattleboro and Southern Vermont community and like the poor communities of color in this area is like virtually non-existent. And I think that's one of my biggest critiques of Brattleboro and of Vermont and of a lot of liberal-minded communities in general is that people like just like want to sweep it under the rug and say like, no, like not in this town, but they're not looking beyond their own very small community that is very exclusive and very rich and white. And then so these people they get mad that they think you're attacking, their perfect little image of things, but they're just in this bubble. And that makes me so much more mad than so many other things that happen sometimes, because it's I don't know. I
think it's also possible to be in that bubble while you're living in and amongst communities of color. And like one of the things that I see a lot just like in my everyday life and is like how we're like trained to be racist, and the like racist images and ideas that surround us. Like not every single police in the United States went to the same police academy and was like cookie cutter out of there. Like they're getting these ideas from somewhere, and so are we. And like I think about Boomerang, the store on Elliott Street, and their logo, like they're on their like Boomerang shirts are Native American person in full like regalia. And like to me, that is racist, a symbol of racism, and sitting there in a popular storefront in Brattleboro. And then like, I mean, I work in a school, and I know a lot of people here work in schools too, and like the racist toys that I see, the books that the kids are reading, the classroom teacher whose classroom I'm in hasn't read one book that's not about a white boy. Like where are we learning these racist messages? And I don't think that school is the root cause, but that we are swimming in it. Like it's everywhere. It's not just that the police are racist,
Similarly, to bring it back to what the point Michaela made, that we live in a system that not only has created racism, but has created a particular type of poverty as well. We are also drenched in ideas about why people are poor and what's wrong with people are poor. Those ideas permeate all of our society, and the police, we teachers, are drenched in them just like everyone else is. So we can give ourselves trainings, and those trainings are helpful. Those trainings do make it a little bit safer to walk the streets of a particular town, a neighborhood, while being young and black, while being from a poor community, while having mental illness, while being female, while being whatever. Those trainings are helpful on that level of sort of day-to-day safety, but they don't change systemic inequities. We've got some long, hard work ahead of us to change those systemic inequities and to figure out why they're in place.
And I would say some of those trainings perpetuate them. Like I've been to a training in a school that I thought was going to be, was about class, or was about the poor kids in the school, and I thought that it was going to be how can we support kids at our school who are living in like bad conditions. And basically it was a teacher talk where we talked about stereotypes of poor people. They called it the poverty class. And the kind of message in the meeting was that we need to teach our values to these poverty class people because they don't value education. They just value entertainment. Their families spend all of their money on entertainment. And this idea about what goes on in the house, what parents say to their kids, how parents treat their kids, and like what people think about these families. Like people have been seeing videos of Ferguson, and I've heard people throw out the word savages, and all like that idea of people of color, but poor people of color and poor people in general, this kind of like elite, like it's so everywhere in Brattleboro, at least.
The other thing I just want to put in the room that I've been like thinking about as we're talking is that, and kind of going on what a couple people have just said, is that there is a lot of homelessness and poverty in Brattleboro, and I see that just walking around, and I see it also through my work, and there's a lot of people without homes, and it's really horrible. And there's also like policing of that, where like park benches have been taken away, or and then they're caught trespassing because they're not supposed to be sitting here, but they don't have anywhere to go. And I think, I know there's going to be like continuing conversations, and I think that we need to start thinking like, we know like something it's not working, and so is there something else we can do? Like how can we try and like do something different? Because that's something that definitely is at the forefront of my mind, and is definitely like connected to all of this, is poor people in Brattleboro, and there's a lot of it.
It's just like when the police department will no longer let any of the poor people camp anywhere out in the woods.
There's an ordinance, there's a city ordinance against camping.
And that's terrible. I mean, is there a city ordinance against people, who made those rules that, oh, you can't stay in your house, goodbye,
I've never been to a sensitivity training. I've been to conferences, but the conferences that I've been to have been preaching to the choir ones that I've already, been a part of the thing. But I do know someone who has been to sensitivity training of something I'm with, and she's going with that and not with me. Does that make sense? So she's like going by the book, but she's not listening to me. So yeah, she's kind of she's happy about the things she's learning, I'm proud of her that she's learning them, but she's not getting her hands dirty, but she's not listening to me. So that's what I'm thinking is a better thing, is getting your hands dirty, and the other side too. I'm not much for picket signs. I'm more for getting your hands dirty and baking pies and behind the scenes, old people, for instance. Like, people can be like, oh, old people are weird, but then they go and visit them, and you're missing out on all these stories and all these jokes and that kind of thing. So yeah, you going into the thing is where it counts, and not the book. But and the other part is what I'm saying is we kind of separate each other a lot, and bump elbows by with who we're at. The Granny Smith apples, just hang out with the Granny Smith apples, and that can get really boring and just really cramped in there. and saying that the Washington apples are, could be pretty cool, and even the weird cucumbers, you never know. But I'm also hesitant because I don't really know much about, like, say the cucumbers. I know that my mother took me to a nutritionist. The nutritionist said I should have fish oil, and Mom put the fish oil in my yogurt, and that was gross. And but I guess it was good for me. But that reminds me of, like, I don't know why, but that's kind of what that's kind of what I feel sometimes when people like more privileged than me are waving picket signs for me. Like, I know it's good for me, but it's and it's still it still tastes like yogurt with fish oil in it sometimes. So I would like to listen to other people and know which ways I can get my hands dirty and be there without it tasting like fish oil. And I'd also like other people to get their hands dirty instead of reading a book. But I'm also hesitant about cops not existing. I'd like to think about that. You said cops were about the money and stuff. I don't, I gotta do that. But also my grandfather was a Marine, my family's in human services, blah, blah, blah. So I still have like faith in that, and I have faith in humanity. But, cops and doctors, they have God jobs. Once you take those things that mean like above and you kind of keep that within yourself separately, then you get in trouble. So anyway.
And I'm a teacher also, and I'm wondering, you were talking about like the higher up versus being on the ground kind of thing. And I guess in the lessons that I teach, I question, well, which side am I on when I'm saying this to my students? Am I telling them to be obedient to this state that is working for rich white people? Or is what I'm saying going to make them want to analyze the system in a different way? And I don't think about that as much as I should, but I was just having a conversation with a kindergarten teacher and saying, everything that we say and what we do is our politics, and so we have to carefully think about that all of the time.
I guess. Go ahead.
I was just going to add a part of that too, and to I don't know if it's in a similar vein, but I also work at a school, and the school is predominantly Puerto Rican students, and there's a large population of white teachers at the school. And the students, and I've been teaching lessons about Ferguson and Staten Island for quite a while now, and the students have decided to march and protest, and the administration is all white, and they had a protest plan for today, and they wanted to stop it. They wanted to control what was happening, and they thought they would get out of control by these students. And they threatened teachers and students with calling home, suspensions up to 30 days. The teachers could be suspended too, and so one of the things that happened is that people decided to go through with it, and so those of us who could use and fear a little less to being fired, and those students who didn't worry about being called home and had a different position that they wasn't threatened did walk out in spite of all of these threats. And so I think about that too, that waiving, and not for other people, but the outrage should be with us too, and to using, participating with them. So I don't know if that was clear, but.
I'm no lawyer, but I believe that you do have a right to protest peacefully. And that when they were telling you, they were threatening, that if they try to fire you or anything like that, you might be able to, come back at them with a lawsuit for, unfair, termination or whatever. Because I think that is a violation of your Fourth Amendment right, or your First Amendment.
Yeah, and then for the students to, there's no law against calling home, and so having teachers support their efforts and that kind of thing was important as well, to have us back them up when they were feeling threatened.
Oh, my only thing was that this shouldn't be a one-time thing, and so how do we keep the momentum going and making connections, not just about Ferguson or what's happening in Ohio, or the execution of the schizophrenic man. I forgot what state that was.
Did that happen?
No, he got a stay.
Texas, wasn't it? I thought it was.
Was it Texas? I can't remember. It was state. And just thinking about that, like, death penalty is all over the country. 16 people have been executed in Texas and like 9 in Florida. And so there's all these different things happening, and so being on the streets as much as we can, I think, is important to remind people and to snap them out of their day-to-day, because we too could get caught up in the day-to-day, like trying to figure out how we're going to pay our bills or whatever challenges that we have. But knowing that there are other people suffering more, people who are in prison for life for nonviolent offenses because of mandatory minimums, like there's all, or 3 strikes, there's all these things that have happened. And so just to kind of keep it on people's radar, not just ours, but other people as well. So I hope we are dedicated to being out and about, being seen, and reminding ourselves and others about what's happening here, what's happening in Syria, what's happening in Palestine, what's happening in West Africa because of poverty. And when I say West Africa, I mean Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia, and not forgetting that people are really suffering at the hand of capital.
I just wanted to add, I don't know who created this group, but I wanted to say thank you and stuff, because it was good to come here and be able to air out, what happened to me and stuff, because once something like that, what happened with the police and stuff, you do feel isolated and you start to feel alone in it.
So I think that the next event to keep our momentum going will be the 14th at the Root, a discussion about ending the criminalization of communities of color. I think that everybody who planned this event wants to continue working together and doing more in our town, because this is obviously not just like happened once and we want justice for this one case. There's a lot of things in Brattleboro that need to change. So if you haven't signed the email list and want to be kept up to date about future events, please put your name on it. And
write legibly.
Take one of these, put them in your workplace or where you hang out or where you get your coffee.
Yeah. Anything else that anybody who organized this wants to add to that? Did I forget anything?
The only thing I can think is how cool it was organizing 2 days ago and seeing so many people out there. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, everybody who came. And all the people who didn't make it in here but were there out on the street. It was so good.
Yes, thank you guys so much for coming.